Donald Trump being the most incompetent president in history and the president who knows the least about what his own government is doing, his own White House, at any given moment.
We're going to talk about how biased this guy is and how he uses emotional manipulation to make you scared of geopolitics instead of helping you understand what's actually happening. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. Just a brief overview of the situation. The U.S. Court of International Trade ruled that tariffs imposed by President Trump were unconstitutional because they bypassed Congress, which holds the authority to set tariffs. In response, Trump's legal team requested a stay on the ruling while the case is appealed, promising that if the tariffs are ultimately found unlawful, affected businesses will receive funds with interest. The appeals court granted a temporary pause with final briefs due by June 9th. The Trump administration argues that the tariffs were justified under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. A stay is necessary to avoid disrupting ongoing trade negotiations. If the tariffs are ruled unlawful, businesses will be refunded, so no harm is done by delaying enforcement. The opponent's argument is the tariffs are unconstitutional because only Congress can impose them. Businesses suffered financial harm from the tariffs. Delaying enforcement further extends the economic damage and undermines judicial authority. Now I'm going to scroll up a little bit where I used AI to analyze the video, and it starts off with bias and framing. Trump is repeatedly called incompetent, ignorant, goofy, and lost without balanced counterpoints. The framing implies the court ruling is objectively humiliating rather than congested legal terrain. Use of the phrase refund day will be the ultimate humiliation is emotionally loaded and editorializing. Emotional manipulation got a 2 out of 10. Constant ridicule like smiling clown, mentally weak, worse than Nixon creates an emotionally hostile environment. Viewers are primed to react with disgust rather than understand the complexities of trade law. Refund day is coming is used almost like a punchline for dramatic payoff rather than analysis. Omission of key context, the score was a 3 out of 10. No serious discussion of why the Trump administration imposed the tariffs or claimed national security basis. The economic arguments for protectionist tariffs are ignored entirely, leaving the issue one-sided. The legal argument from the Trump side, invoking the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, is mentioned only sarcastically. For misleading or leading questions, there were no questions posed to the audience for reflection or clarification. This is a monologue of conclusions. Phrases like, no high school student would get this wrong, are designed to shame disagreement. Intentional dishonesty was a 5 out of 10. There's no direct fabrication, but the tone implies certainty about legal outcomes. For example, refund day will happen, which remains undecided. Ignoring Trump's legal defense while mocking his understanding of the Constitution creates a deceptive impression of total legal failure. Let me know in the comments, at what point does mocking your opposition stop being news? Rhetorical integrity was given a score of 3 out of 10. Relentless ridicule eliminates space for legitimate critique of court overreach, policy intention, or global trade strategy. The argument hinges more on character attacks than legal substance. Source transparency was a 6 out of 10. Court documents and pleadings are cited and quoted. Showing source material is used. Yes, this really did happen. However, no links or concrete sourcing are presented on screen or in captions for viewer verification. Use of evidence was given a score of 6 out of 10. Legal filings and direct quotes from the appeals court are accurately presented. Evidence is cherry-picked to reinforce the segment's ridicule narrative. No competing expert opinion or policy evaluation is presented. The straw man risk was a 3 out of 10. Trump's trade policy is treated as a purely arbitrary or childish, with no serious effort to portray its rationale. The idea that courts should have no role in trade decisions is never Trump's argument, but is implied as such. If you don't know what a straw man is, it's when you make up a weaker version of an argument to attack that instead of the real argument. Terminology exaggeration was scored a 2 out of 10. Most humiliating day, supremely incompetent. Worse than Nixon. Tariff madness are hyperbolic terms that exaggerate consequences. The use of clown, madness, goofy chaos agent shifts the segment toward insult comedy, not journalism. In summary, the argument honesty rating is a 3.8 out of 10. The segment is a partisan monologue. I think everybody figured that out. While it includes accurate legal references, it's overwhelmingly hostile and sarcastic, distorting the public's understanding by omitting Trump's reasoning and exaggerating consequences. There is minimal room for viewer interpretation. This has been another video by BSTracker. I want to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.